Welcome to Local Community Focus. I'm Farrah Khan, and today with me I have Mr. Harish Prasad, who is a prominent lawyer here in Liverpool and a patron of FISCA and a big supporter of community events and activities. So could you tell us a bit about the things that you have been involved in previously?
I've been a solicitor practicing in Sydney now for 20 years.
Yep.
And as you've mentioned, I work dominantly amongst Indians and Indians from Fiji mainly, and India and other places. And I suppose we are here to discuss from my perspective the issues that I deal with or issues that I see amongst Indians.
And one of those major issues that we will be discussing about is that, while we as a community don't have a main sort of community hall or a community centre that as Indo-Fijians we can all come together as, yet so many other cultures do. What do you feel about that?
Well, that's one of my main frustrations, I suppose, at a personal level. I think by now we should have had at least a major meeting point, something along the lines of a Fiji Club.
Yes.
And of course, it's long overdue.
And of course this wouldn't be aligned to any religious or like social sects. It'd be as a cultural centre.
Yes, we've got enough of the others. We've got a lot of religious groups and little social clubs all over the place.
Yes.
But a bigger scale club that truly represents the Fiji Indian community or the Fiji community is long overdue. And having regard to the size of the population, I think it should have been opened about 10 years ago now.
And why do you think it hasn't come about?
I think a number of reasons. I think we probably, after the coups, Fiji Indians have come here and kind of moved their own ways. They probably have lost the need of that feel to belong to a group or identify themselves as Fiji Indians. And I think for that reason mainly, people haven't got together enough. The social leaders amongst the community have not seen the necessity, but I believe it's required.
Well, that is a very interesting point of view because, if you think about it, the Gurmateas that went to Fiji back in 130 years ago, they were able to come together as a united group and create these and build all these schools and other centres and united rather than separated. And yet here it's not in that same sort of field. Why do you?
Well, what a shame it is, because we Fiji Indians are a very small cultural group, and the reason for that, as we all know, is our fathers at least were first generation Fiji Indians. We are the second generation, and most of us have left Fiji.
Yeah.
Now we carry a unique identity which makes us Fiji Indians, and we need to preserve it to some extent. I think it's a shame when I look around, and also as part of my work, I see future generations of Fiji Indians coming to me or coming to my office who seem to have nothing in common with the Fiji Indian culture. So to preserve that, I think a Fiji club or something along those lines would be helpful, where the younger generation, the generation who've only been to Fiji for holidays, would be able to come together, identify themselves as Fiji Indians.
Well, that is a very important, I think, issue that people like me face, because although I've been to Fiji, I don't really have that connection being born here, yet culturally I do feel that I am Fijian Indian. And there are many other important issues, of course, and we will be dealing with those in the coming weeks. But why else do you think such a centre would be an important sort of...
Well, I'll take Liverpool for an example. If you look around Liverpool, most of the shops now are owned by Fiji Indian businessmen. There's a huge population out here. In previous generations, we had Croatians, Italians who came and built big clubs.
Yep.
They've been displaced to some extent by Fiji Indians.
Yep.
So they need to now come and take over, and there needs to be a similar club that opens in this area that can be a Fiji club.
Well, I full-heartedly agree, but we are coming to to the end of the time and the end of the segment, but we will be hearing more from you later on, discussing the more important issues that such a centre could confront and highlight, for example, just as us here at IFCA try to do as well. But I thank you very much for coming onto our show.
It's my pleasure.
And we will be seeing you more later on.
Thank you for having me.
That's it for us.